Hello friends, in today's video we will be seeing how to create SQS standard queue. Just for your information, I have already explained the SQS queue, the difference between standard and FIFO queue, and all the required parameters in my previous video. So you can refer that. I'll provide the link in the description. So let's start today's video. I have already logged into my AWS console. I am in North Virginia region. So just type SQS in the search bar and click here so that it will take you to the SQS page. Click here in create queue. Now we are getting two options, standard queue and FIFO queue. Standard queue messaging order isn't preserved, it's a best effort ordering. However, in FIFO queue, messaging order is preserved, which we have already discussed. Regarding this point, exactly once processing, don't worry, we will cover that when we will perform the demo of FIFO queue. So let me just provide the name of this queue, demo standard. Now we have already discussed these parameters. Let's quickly go through each one by one. Visibility timeout period default is 30 seconds, means that consumer needs to process and delete the message from the queue within this 30 seconds. 4 days retention means that messages can live up to 4 days in queue. Delivery delay means when your consumer application needs additional time to process the message, so we can create a delay queue. Okay, that in that queue, that any message that producer send to the queue will remain invisible to consumer for that duration of the delay period. Okay, in case of standard queue, if we change the setting, right? I mean, you have created the queue, and let's say after some time you are changing the setting, so that it won't be effective to the message which are already in queue in case of standard. However, for FIFO queue, if you change the setting, it will also be effective to the message which are already in the queue. Okay, for standard queue, it won't be effective the message which are in the queue, which are already in the queue. In case of FIFO, it will be effective to the message which are already in the queue, right? Okay, maximum message size can be up to 256 KB. Receive message wait times means that 0 means short polling, 20 seconds means long polling. If we define 20 seconds, that means if there is a message, consumer will process it, right? If there is no message or if the queue is empty, then consumer will wait up to 20 seconds. As I have already explained, AWS charge us on request basis. Okay, so let me scroll down. Now the access policy. In advanced access policy, you can define which account of user can send message to the queue, which account a user can receive message from the queue. So you can define the access policy. But for this demo, we will keep it as simple so that we will go by the basic. And we are defining queue owner as a producer, and we are defining queue owner as a consumer. That means that queue owner will send the message and queue owner will receive the message also from the queue. Okay, so let me scroll down. For this demo, we are not enabling encryptions, we are not creating configure dead letter queue, we are not we will cover this point when we configure the dead letter queue. We are not giving text, so we are keeping everything as it is default. So we are just creating a queue. Don't worry, we will cover the dead letter queue in separate video. So let's create the queue. So I have created a queue with the name of demo standard. We scroll down. Here you can see that we can integrate SQS queue with SNS, and we can also integrate SQS with Lambda. Okay, so don't worry, we will cover each topic one by one in later video. Okay, so let me go to the queue. Okay, now let's try to send messages to the queue. send the message, and you can see that your message has been sent and is ready to be received. Now you can see the message is in available state. Now let me receive the message. We can scroll down, or we can also receive the message here. Send and receive message. You can click anywhere. Both is fine. Okay. So now we have the consumer has pulled the message. The consumer is processing the message. So if we refresh it, we can see the message is in flight state. See, so it will be in a flight state until the visibility timeout period expires. If consumer won't process or is unable to process and read the message from the queue within that visibility timeout period, which is 30 seconds in our case, then it will again be available for the next consumer to process. Okay, you can see, right? The message is again in available state so that consumer can process. So let me try to process it again. I have processed it again. You can see it will again move to message in flight state. See, right? So let me just do that. Here you can view the details, that this is the body of that, this is message one, and you can delete that. Okay, now you have deleted the message. So if you try to refresh it, so there is no message, right? So that's it guys for today. In next video we will perform the same thing but from the AWS CLI. That's it guys for today. So I hope you like the video. Please hit the like button and do subscribe my channel. Thank you.